Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy JR, and we're back at you with another Cold War video. In today's video, we are going to be going over the best settings that you should be running right now, especially if you're on PC, to be successful on Cold War. Not only are these settings going to help with your graphics and all that, but they're also going to help with just your normal gameplay, your typical gameplay, and even potentially help you get a nuclear in this game and just do better overall in general. I notice a lot of players on this game actually be running the wrong settings, or they don't know what certain settings are. So we're going to be going over those in today's video. Without any further ado, let's dive right into these settings. Alright guys, so let's get right into these display settings. So the very first thing is going to be full screen. The reason I have full screen on is because if you have anything else on, it will actually affect your FPS and will actually affect your gameplay in general. So you're going to want to keep this in full screen. Then my refresh rate is going to be 144 hertz because I have a 144 hertz monitor. You're going to want to set this as high as possible. If you guys don't go this high, then you're obviously not going to be able to play that high of frames. Honestly, if you guys have like a 60 hertz to 75 hertz monitor, you're not going to be close to 100 frames per second. You're going to start suffering massive screen tearing and other issues in the game. Don't mess with VSync at all, really. I know VSync is actually going to make your picture a lot better, but the thing about VSync is there's going to be a slight input delay or input lag, so I keep this disabled. You guys can turn it on, but you have to have a VSync monitor, so it's got to be optimized in your monitor already. You have to go into your settings on your desktop to actually enable this. Then we got the render resolution. I keep mine at 1920 by 1080 or 100, and then I have my display resolution at 1920 by 1080. This is what my game runs on the best. I can bump it up, but my monitor is not a 1440 monitor, I believe. So I keep this right at 1920 by 1080, which is your high definition. You don't want to go any lower than this. If you start going lower than this, your graphics are going to look kind of crappy. Your display is just not going to look near as clean. So definitely keep it right at this or even higher if you guys have the monitor that supports it. Big one, especially for you guys who are on PS5 and don't know much about field of view. So I keep my field of view anywhere between 100 to 110 as I am on controller. It feels a lot better that way. Once you start getting up into anything past 110 to 120, that's going to start giving you frame issues, and it might start feeling a lot weirder on your controller, like a delay almost. I personally prefer 105. 103 to 105 is what my preference is, obviously. And I actually dropped a nuke on this field of view. Perfect field of view. I mean, if you guys want to go higher, you guys can go ahead and test it out. Just make sure your guys' frames per second can handle it, and your rigs in general can handle it. Here's another massive one, and this is going to go with your ADS. So you're going to want to have this on affected. If you have it on independent, change it right now. So pretty much what affected does is when you're aiming down sights, it actually zooms in the whole thing, so it's a little bit closer to you guys. If you guys are on mouse and keyboard, you're definitely going to want to have this unaffected. If you're on controller with a higher field of view, trust me guys, it's gonna be a world of a difference. So for my frame rate limit, guys, I have custom on. I run 120 FPS, which is good. If you guys want to run higher, you guys can run higher. I can run higher if I want, but I prefer to keep it at 120. And then for your menu and custom frame rate, I just keep this at 60 because you guys don't need a high FPS for this. Obviously, this is only when you're sitting in the menu, not actually playing the game. So I would just keep this down at 60 so it's not overloading your PC or your PlayStation at all. Definitely going to be a lot better. You can even bump it down to like 30 to 40 if you guys want. It's not going to make much of a difference because you're not really moving around. All right, so here we go right here. So you have your texture qualities. I have all my stuff set at medium. Medium looks pretty good. You guys can go high. I also play at high sometimes. I change all my stuff to medium though because Cold War doesn't seem to be optimized very well right now. I keep all my stuff at medium. You guys can also go ultra, but if you're going to go ultra, you're going to definitely want to make sure you have a good rig and good monitor that can handle that. And that's pretty much going to be for all these things right here. Your green space, objective, view distance, I keep at medium. Special effects, I keep at medium. Pretty much everything I keep at medium, guys. Some stuff, if you guys don't really care for or don't need it, you guys can lower it down to decrease your VRAM usage, which is what you guys want. The lower your VRAM usage is, the better the game's going to perform on your PC. But you guys do have to be aware that when you guys do lower some of these settings, the quality of your game may be a little bit off, but I keep most of mine at medium, so it still looks pretty good in general. And if I really wanted to, I could put them on high or ultra. My PC can handle that, so, but I just prefer to play at medium right now. Okay guys, so this is one thing that's new to the game that was not in Modern Warfare. That's going to be the volumetric lighting, or volumetric lighting. My apologies for that. I keep this at low. I try to bump it up, and honestly, it made the game like really weird. It was like flashing cut, like a flashy bright light. It was weird. Just don't turn this on. I leave this at low. I leave your shadow quality at low. Dynamic, I have all on, so I have shadows for everything. Special effects, I have on, so I have shadows for special effects, of course. The reason I have this on is so I can see if someone jumps over me, I see the shadow or stuff like that. So, and then weapon shadow I have enabled as well. All right, guys, so this is huge. I know a lot of you guys have been having issues with your FPS in Call of Duty Cold War, especially on PC, and a lot of you guys actually have this enabled disable all the ray tracing, because if you guys have these enabled, they will actually limit your FPS like 60 FPS. They're really not that good. You don't need them, trust me guys. Just disable it right now. You guys can use them in the campaign if you want or whatever, but for multiplayer you guys do not want these enabled. They will actually affect your gameplay. They will affect the performance of the game in multiplayer. So I keep these disabled, and I think you guys should too. Motion blur, disable that right now. If you guys have this enabled, you guys are playing the game all wrong. Do not have motion blur on at all. It will affect your gameplay. It will make you sick. It makes me sick if I have it on. So definitely turn this off. And then motion blur quality, you want to set that to low as well. All right guys, so these are my controller settings, and I know a lot of you guys are probably wondering what my settings are, especially while on the video that I dropped the nuke in. This is going to be my settings. So I run it at 7.7 for sensitivity. My ADS is a 0.65 sensitivity. I don't mess with the high zoom because I don't use high zoom weapons at all really. A button layout is stick and move. Although I do have a SCUF, I like stick and move better, which allows me to jump with my right analog stick instead of using a paddle or the X button. And then I do play on flipped as well. That means I'm going to be using my front bumpers to shoot and aim weapons, and then my back bumpers for grenades and stuff like that. You're going to want to keep invert look disabled, and controller vibration I also have disabled. The reason I have that disabled is because I feel like vibration on the controller actually throws my accuracy off a little bit, so I have that disabled. And if you guys don't have it disabled now and you guys do disable it, I will warn you guys right now, it takes a little bit getting used to, but it's going to be worth it in the long run. All right, so here we go, the other one. So the aim down sight, aim assist. This is only for zombies and campaign. This has nothing to do with multiplayer. So many people get this confused. You don't need to worry about this unless you're playing the campaign or multiplayer. So what this is pretty much is when you aim down sights, it automatically snaps onto a target. Multiplayer has never done that, and neither will this game. It only works in campaign and zombies. So you guys don't need to worry about this. I would keep it enabled if you guys are going to play zombies and multiplayer, but if you don't, it's not a big deal if you have it disabled. Then you got the slowdown, strafing, aim assist. Now this is multiplayer, guys. So what this pretty much does is when you're going down or aiming down sights and an enemy runs in front of you, or you pass over an enemy, it will slow your aim assist down within a certain bubble around the enemy. One thing I will warn you guys though about this right now in Call of Duty Cold War is that the aim assist is actually broken in this game. It's actually way too strong. It may actually force your aim away from the opponent if they're running around. You guys may have noticed this by now, and hopefully they do fix this, but what it does is pretty much it's you're trying to fight the aim assist, trying to lock onto your enemy and fight the aim assist as well. But do not disable this unless you're playing mouse and keyboard, or unless you don't like aim assist. I would keep it enabled, and hopefully they do have a future fix for it here very, very soon. And then right here, I don't mess around with any of this stuff. If you guys do mess around with it though, I would go in increments of 2. So I don't really want to get into too much detail with this because I really don't think you guys need to worry about this unless you have stick drift. It's pretty much just a dead zone setting, and honestly I don't think you guys really need to worry about it all that much. Then you have auto move forward. I have this disabled, but I do have auto sprint enabled. So this is pretty much gonna be like your auto attack run, except for it's gonna be auto sprint on this game. I have this enabled. It's gonna save your controller a lot more life on it, and it's just gonna help you a lot more with your movement. It's gonna help you your slide canceling, just getting around places faster, your jump shots, everything, guys. Sprint cancels reloads. I have this disabled because I want to be able to reload while I'm sprinting. And then the rest of these settings are all just pretty much preference. I like tap to reload. I know some people like contextual tap, which is right here, prioritize reload, I think, or tap to interact. But I have tap to reload instead of holding to reload because obviously it's a lot quicker for me. So yeah, these are pretty much the settings that I'm going to be running in Cold War right now, and I probably will update these sometime in the near future as they release more settings in the game. But I would highly suggest running some of these settings, especially if you're a controller, guys. Trust me, they're going to help a lot. And stay tuned. Later on this week, I will probably release a audio settings too, the best settings for your audio to sound for the enemy. Anyways, guys, I hope this video helped you guys out a lot. If you have any questions, comment down below. And make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and turn on bell notifications as well if you guys are new to the channel. Anyways, guys, I'm out. Deuces.